All right, everyone. Says I'm live. A minute in. Someone's finally here. What's up, guys? Welcome to Real Stocks. Real interesting market as of late. We've really been swung around by the news, up, down, left, right, sideways, and it's been very difficult to guess where we can go. Now, we had a couple of reactions the past few days. Yesterday was a great day for the markets. You can see right there on the NQ. NQ was only down a little bit, like a very slight little bit. The volume heavily increased on the NQ. That is a positive thing. If you remember what I said a few days ago, actually since the follow through day here, if we meander around this price area, then we're good to go. Now, as long as we don't undercut this low, we're still good to go. So, unfortunately, the bad thing is all these swings as of late have been based on news and a little bit of manipulation by the big boys. You had the follow through day, which I think is a genuine follow through day. Whether it ends up lasting or not is a completely different issue, but I don't think it's manufactured. This one could be a manufactured follow through day. I don't believe this one is the way the stocks were behaving. Since then, we had the gap up on the Trump tweet. It turned out to be a fake tweet, so we have a huge drop. And then we had the George Bush funeral pausing the markets on this day with next to no volume on it. The futures were open for a little bit, though, it seems. And then yesterday, we had a gap and crap and go. So we gapped all the way. We gapped. I guess we didn't really gap, but we dropped all the way down lower, about 3%. They came all the way back on a tremendous volume day. So we have a fake good day, we have a bad day, and then we have another good day. So we'll see these wash out and we go back to neutral, which would be fine with me, going back to kind of the horizontal standard that we've been looking for. Some stocks made some decent moves yesterday. Amazon was looking pretty good. A lot of stocks yesterday looked really good, individual names. So here's Amazon. This is the weekly. There we go. Here's Amazon yesterday. Coming back, good volume, good green bar right there. A lot of coins or stocks had good green bars. Amazon looking much better than Apple. Apple didn't quite make up all of its loss right there. So you can see the gap and go. Trying to fill the gap, which it filled the gap, but we'll see if that leads to further gains or not. Being held down right now by this 10-day moving average. Hasn't really tested the 200-day but one time, and so I'm not sure if that's even a true test to the 200-day. Bears are still firmly in control of Apple. Amazon, it appears that it's more neutral looking. So you can see it trying to test the 200-day. They're trying to get above it. It poked above it once and we came back beneath of it yesterday. We pretty much closed at the 200-day. We really need to see what happens today. I believe today's also Friday, so yeah, more games in the market. So today's a Friday. We'll see what happens today. But usually they show their hands on Fridays. Usually, sometimes they try to play games, but they already had a Wednesday to play games. So hopefully we'll get a more genuine look at what's going on here. See what IBD has to say. Then we'll take a look at some pre-market movers. All right, slower hiring. Okay, what just happened? Okay, wage gain, dive, Fed options, stock/losses. Oil prices spike as signs of a deal emerge from OPEC meeting. That could be good. So they're going to cut about 2 to 250,000 barrels per day, it looks like, from Russia. And OPEC to cut by 0.8 million barrels per day. So that's good. Wow, jump 4.4%. Amazing. So coming down from really low prices. 54.11. Let's go to the weekly on oil. Oh, it even undercut that trend line right there at about 60. Wow. So oil doing interesting things. Let's take a look at some pre-market movers. Cron up 32% today, continuing the choppy action of Cron and some of those MJ stocks. Tonic up 68%. That's a big ups for Tonic. UWT. Not quite sure what you are. Oh, long oil. Gush up 9%. Also an oil ETF, it looks like. More than likely. Cron to 1385. Okay, that's great for Cron. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Good gap up, pretty much over most price action. Almost an all-time highs for Cron. Kronos Group appears to be the only one. I don't think Tilroy's doing anything. Not really. MJ had a huge gap down yesterday. Looks like it did come back most of the way, but still, that was not a super encouraging price action on MJ. MNRFF. Okay, I don't know what that is. There's TNXP. There's Tonic. Looks like it's been on a roller coaster ride as of late. Back up again today. 532. So it's opening right about there. At least right now. 8 minutes. A lot can happen in 8 minutes. So we'll see how that goes. But not super interested in that. Personally. 10x. No, it's not a cryptocurrency. AOBC. Man, look at that. That's a good price gain. That's 300% to the upside there. 256. Wow. Look at all this volume down here without any progress lower. Someone's buying some UWT on the back of, they're like, something's going to happen to oil. There's just, it can't go down this far this fast. So UWT looks like it, yeah, I don't know if we're getting all the way back up here, but 258%. Man, you get these big swings in some of these commodity plays. These ETFs can give you very outspoken returns. Gush, very similar situation. Up to 23 is CRC. A lot of interest in NVIDIA lately. Yesterday had a decent day. Definitely not an abnormal day. Still well within the trend. Netflix could be interesting here. So looks like it broke that potential trend line. Put in a lower low here. So Netflix not looking like it wants to rally. Facebook still grinding lower, respecting that trend line right there. If it breaks that trend line, that could be a good signal on Facebook. We'll see if it's gonna do that or not. Twitter yesterday. All right, came all the way back, elevated volume. The bulls are interested in Twitter. They just need to actually push it higher. Other names we've been looking at: Eli Lilly. Oh, look at that! Wow, it's looking good. Actually, had a really bad day Tuesday, and then Thursday here we had a nice reversal day. Neither of those were major days. They're elevated days, but not major. We'll see if Eli Lilly can make a comeback. If the market makes a comeback, Eli Lilly will probably make a comeback. It was looking good until the other day, but we'll see if that reverses. Like I said, we're very news driven right now. That's not always necessarily a good thing. All right, let's see some of my other ones that I've marked up here. Interested in VMW. VMW's maintained elevated levels, sitting right here towards the breakout point again. Had a great breakout day, pulled back. Going to get a second chance at that breakout if you're interested in VMW. Tesla, just maintaining these elevated levels. Very impressed with Tesla's price action. It's doing very good. All right, looks like I'm kidless. Cool. All right, AMRN, one that we've been hawking here for a while since this huge gap up. It just continued up. Not looking great, looking like it's in a bear flag situation. The volume yesterday was not as good as it could have been. And there's Eli Lilly again. We have AMED, which is had a nice pullback to the breakout point yesterday. Look at all that green volume, man. That's just a sea of green. That's pretty great. See what IBD has to say about AMED. 99 composite ranking, 99 relative strength ranking. Just basically a powerhouse in the 1% of stocks, in the top 1% of stocks. 70% EPS change last quarter. 33% 3 years EPS growth rate. Sales are a little muted at 12%. ROE is only 15. Pre-tax margin 9.3. But they like it for something. %16 in change in funds owning stock in 7 quarters of increasing fund ownership. So more and more mutual funds are finding this. 4.3 billion market cap, still plenty of room to go in AMED here. So one of the best ones in the market by a long shot. Top 1% of price and in terms of composite ranking from IBD. Eli Lilly, another high quality one, 98% or 98 composite ranking, 96 relative strength ranking. So it definitely outperforms in the top 4% of stocks. Eli Lilly is, so that's good. CSX, take a look at CSX. Was looking to break a cup with handle pattern there. Did not decide to break the pattern instead to the downside. And Goose yesterday not recovering. That is not encouraging out of Goose. We'll have to see how this guy handles this going forward. So far today looks like the NASDAQ is down about 0.25%. Nothing too bad. Getting a little bit of lift from the jobs data, which wasn't as bullish, thinking maybe the Fed won't cut or will stop raising rates, which we'll see how that ends. You guys are very chatty today, making my job easy. So I'm going to read up on AMED here. All right. Sorry, wife called. Dog was outside about to die, so I had to go rescue it. All right, so market opened. Are we dead yet? All right, what's up here towards the top of my list? Cron up 31%. MMNFF OG MJ up 8%. Look at Cron rocketing right there. What caused that? Looks like the whole sector's up. That's good. I don't see anything specific. Altria takes stake in Canadian cannabis company. Really? A 45% stake? That's not a stake. That's a hostile takeover. Oh, wow. 45% stake in Kronos Group, Altria. That's the Marlboro maker, the cigarette maker. So that's definitely putting a big boost. MJ even gapping up here. The ETF, MMNFF, and over-the-counter exchange gapping up a little bit. But Kronos Group probably appearing to be the leader in this sector so far, as we've had, Tilray here not do much. Kronos has had all the action. Looks like all of that, all this volume that was, I guess, just here. It looks like someone got some wind of the announcement right there. And so they bought there. Now they're getting their 30% reward from some of that insider buying. Looks like Tesla gapping up into new highs here. I'm telling you, man, this Tesla ride is going to be nice. It's going to be a nice Tesla ride. AMED up here, 0.63%. Gapping up pretty good. BMW Eli Lilly down a little bit. Back into the base, not what you'd like to see there. And I think that's all of my highlighted ones. Oh, I have Ulta highlighted. Looks like they talked about Ulta too much at IBD because they destroyed it. Is Tesla a buy right now? Yeah, Tesla's a buy. I mean, I don't really know who's left to sell Tesla at this stage of the game, to be honest with you. There were some extreme Tesla doubters, and there are still some extreme. There'll always be Tesla doubters, even as they have a 500 billion market cap. There'll still be Tesla doubters, but yeah, I think it's a buy. That's my personal opinion. Now this is a longer term. This would be a much longer term trade for me, Justin. No major expectations of extreme moves immediately, although it could happen. The market being in such a big downtrend, this could be one of those situations where you just see Tesla really start to take on its own and do some, do one of these moves. It's possible. It's definitely possible from this stage. The first like truly profitable quarter for Tesla. They had one quarter where they had an EPS gain, but it was just kind of a fleeting moment thing. And then so now that they're truly profitable, as long as they maintain that profitability, which it appears that they will, since the Model 3's kind of reached the tipping point, and which they said was 5,000 cars a week. I like how Elon Musk breaks it down like that. Oh, we need 5,000 cars a week, not a quarter, a week. It's like, okay, every week we have a goal of 5,000 cars. It's a pretty cool way of doing things. Yeah, my personal opinion from here, I think Tesla's a buy. Tesla's, I think, has been a buy since that quarterly announcement. I think there's been some short covering. There's still some short covering with the failure to go lower in Tesla, as the rest of the market has kind of meandered about. Tesla's been pretty damn solid. But yeah, I think you hold this longer term, even if this thing does falter a little bit. I just think you hold on to it. There's nothing but good things ahead for Tesla. Similar to Apple and Amazon back in the mid-2000s, I think we're there with Tesla right now. We've had these two big bases on the weekly chart, and I think these are going to look small. These are going to look really small in the next coming years. Notice I'm saying years. I think we'll be $750, $1,000 probably in Tesla in the next upcoming years, as long as nothing crazy happens. So if Apple and Amazon sell off, maybe we'll see Tesla as the world's largest company. I know that's asking a lot, but I think it's, man, I think Tesla's great. Everything about Tesla's great. I got no complaints about Tesla. None. So NASDAQ looks like we're to about the break-even level. Looks like on the futures. Solo. Oh, don't touch Solo with a Solo cup. Don't touch Solo with a Solo cup. That was a I, I want to say fleeting moment, but I mean, it had a huge gap up. Don't get me wrong; it was warranted looking into. I'm glad we did, and it's a horrible, horrible little car. I mean, the stock may work, but if you give it any time at all, you just realize that no one is interested technically in accumulating this stock. They use that as a massive selling opportunity, and it's never come back. If you want to keep an eye on it, that's fine. Like I have it sitting on my list. It's hard for me to take things off my list once it's on my list, but I wouldn't put much impetus into that. Tesla is a one-off, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be very difficult to see a company like Tesla in the future. Very, very difficult. EEFT was one that was looking really good. Very nice, kind of holding up cup base. Looks like it came down and filled that gap essentially. Looks like we're back in business. Hopefully, I say hopefully because nothing's for certain, but we're up 1.82%. So that's good. In EEFT, hopefully that can keep rocking there in EEFT. Tesla 3.6, Cron still up. MJ, MMN, RFF, OG, RMF. CLR, CGC, EC, Tesla, SOI. SOI is one we've been interested in. Mainly because it was doing this and then it faltered with the rest of the market. So I'm not super intrigued anymore, but it's still up here. We got Ruger having a good day. But you want to be in stocks like Tesla that are sitting here at highs. I mean, what just happened? I mean, look at that. All-time high is 389. We're at 376. Not too many stocks doing that. Not too many stocks at all. I'd much rather be in Tesla than a lot of stocks at this stage of the game. Looks like Netty's up 2%. Oh, okay. Netty's actually, I like this. I like this. Let's look at Netty's on IBD. Of course, last time I looked at it, I think it had horrible rankings. 46 composite rankings, so it's in the bottom 46% of stocks. Negative EPS change. 30% sales change. 26 pre-tax margin, 26% pre-tax margin. 3-year sales growth rate of 44%. Doesn't even give it an SMR rating. I bet you that's what's holding it back in terms of IBD's ranking. So check this out. I don't know exactly how this ranking system works, like exactly. So they've got this composite ranking, 1 to 99 scale. This is 46, right in the middle. You've got EPS rating of 47 because we got negative EPS rate, but they are having some decent surprises. You got an SMR rating of not available. Okay, so if they base their ranking based off of these, then this is a flawed ranking because all these greens don't give us a result here for whatever reason. So it could be 76 instead of 46. Technical ranking relative strength is 78. 31 billion market cap. B accumulation distribution 1.7 up down volume. Negative change in funds owning stock, but you can see here it's actually making relative new highs compared to the the S&P 500. So that ranking will probably improve as well. You can see right there Netty's taking out these highs, which could be bullish going forward for Netty's in the market, up now 0.25%. What up, Eli? Eat greens, kids. You see Tesla, Eli? I'm loving Tesla here, man. Like, really loving Tesla. 3.5%. Looking here, poking above all this consolidation level, looking really good. But my Netty's also finally poking its head above a lower consolidation level. Could possibly be good for one of my longer term options trades. Out of that little consolidation, could finally start going. Driving. You don't drive, Eli. You're in New York. You don't drive. You're Ubering. All right, market 0.35% up. You've been long Tesla. Good job there, Michael. Yeah, I think Tesla's a great name. Can't be too mad at Tesla at all. And Tesla's doing really good. But I do like Netty's right here. I wish volume would be a little bit more active. Yeah, we're a little low on the volume side so far, but for a very, very early quasi breakout, probably wouldn't be the end of the world. Goose in the green today after yesterday was not a very good day. It actually pulled back into the breakout level. Didn't really trip any sell rules. It was down 6.5% yesterday. Could be a day to accumulate some goose. Definitely could be a day to take a long position in this name. Good growth story here. Eli says they're everywhere around New York, so definitely a fashion trend going on. When you see that, actually Investors Business Daily talks about that. When you see fashion trends and restaurant trends, they can be very, very good for stocks. And this is a nice little chart pattern here in the weekly chart. A pullback here, and maybe a place for an entry. But again, we're far from healthy. It's looking better after yesterday for sure, but we need to have a few days of normal market action before we're kind of out of the woods. It's been a very news-driven market, so a couple of news headlines could start us tanking again. Generally, Tesla will probably not tank, but vast majority of the rest of the market will. Okay, so let's go through the top stocks again here. We got Kron with the Marlboro cigarette maker took a 45% stake in Kron, so that's a pretty amazing statistic or action for Kron there. Let me check Slack. Oh, what did you lean your arm over your Uber driver there? Here's Eli's photo. So you have time to post a photo and be a dick, but you don't have time to look at my chart. What the hell? And what's up with that guy's license plate? That just proves that you're in London, and they drive on the right-hand side in London. So that's all that proves. All right, so MMNFF right here. So you can see the difference between Kron and MMNFF. Huge difference. And unfortunately, MJ looks more like MMNFF than Kron. I don't know what this is comprised of, but it did get a pump up out of that, so that's good. Hopefully we can see some more of that. OGRMF, bit of a bottoming day yesterday. Hopefully that maintains. That scare you, Eli? WLL up 6.5% off of the back of some good oil news. Yeah, some oil names down here actually getting some good boosts. We noticed that pre-market. SOI, I'm not going to look at that too much. EOG, another oil name. FANG, an oil name. CGC, an MJ name. Not having near the move that Kron is. CLR, another oil name. INS, a name that we've been looking at here for a while. Cup-with-Hano had a big shakeout day the other day. Look at that come all the way back, but really didn't make a new high after that, not even overtaking that candle. But that's a pretty monster day there for INS, that pulling all the way back right there. That's bullish to me. INS could be one that you could accumulate as well in this environment. I wouldn't be super aggressive, though. I don't think. I would start taking maybe some entry positions and maybe even a little less than an entry position and wait to see for confirmation on some of these names that have pulled back that I say look pretty good. I have to realize not everyone understands what I'm trying to convey. But yeah, sometimes I think picking at some of these names that look better, like Goose and INS, I think picking at them is good. The market isn't rocketing higher. We're going sideways. We could easily roll back over. We're not on stable foundations yet, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Although Tesla, I think you could take a little bit more than a light position. You probably could take a more normalized run at Tesla. But I think you hold this for longer term. You're holding this at least for a year, in my opinion. Unless we, grossly undercut on major volume. But so far, there's nothing in the cards indicating that we should do that in Tesla. GNC, not much going on there. ADXS, GLOG. ATHM actually rounding out of a pattern here. Right there. So Netty is like here right now, just starting to break out from this little consolidation. And that's why I'm liking NTES right now. See, it popped up, formed a consolidation. I like these consolidation buys on some of these downtrodden names that aren't really running lower, but just moving lower. You see the accumulation right there in the green volume in ATHM. And then consolidation. Then it starts to move up a little bit right there. Yeah, I would add in Tesla a little bit every once in a while. Absolutely. I mean, my wife's full 401k is in Tesla. Okay, so I think Tesla's a good buy. Baba's curling up. Not really a curl there, Justin, but it's kind of moving up. So there's the trend line for Baba. Looks like he did come up to meet it. Yeah, not really a curl here, more of a rising channel. Oh, 10-cent curling. Well, let's take a look at 10-cent TECHY. No. TCEHY. Okay. Oh, yeah, a little more of a curl there. A little bit. Yeah, it doesn't quite meet that trend line, does it? Yeah, I don't know if I'd call that quite a curl. It hits 3 points there. This one's elevated, which is good. I like the elevation here. But I don't know if I'd quite call it a curl. Looks like it did break out from this trend line, which is what you'll want to see. And now consolidating, so I think your buy point at this stage would be there at about 43, give or take. But I see what you mean. It is elevating the lows, which is healthy. So kind of a bit of a rising wedge trying to break out. So yeah, I would probably still have this as your buy point at this stage of the game. Some decent volume, nothing major though. Good volume there on the uptrend, and it's been declining as we're going up. So we need a little base here, and then for it to break up, very similar to what we just saw. Wasn't BABA, was it? No. Well, NTs, Netties is one that I was just mentioning with similar price action. You want to buy it as it goes over these highs here, and wait for maybe the close today before you jump into this one, if you want to. But I think this would be a longer term play. But so you have an extreme downtrend, some nice bottoming action, kind of an inverted head and shoulders, although it's not technically an inverted head and shoulders, but it's a reversal pattern of sorts, and then overtaking a recent high could be a good move there. Not looking too bad. So the Nasdaq rolled over a little bit there, now down about 0.1%. On the Qs, we're down about 0.5% almost. As long as we have lower volume than yesterday, we'll be okay from a distribution day standpoint. So that's good. Yeah, if we can just chill out today, I'd be super duper happy. All right, what's not working? Ulta is just dying on the vine for some reason. Looks like, they had earnings. So they gapped down. Looks like they stopped at kind of a support level. Looks like they're coming back. Ulta has been a leader, and they were holding up very well. This could just be some manipulation to get Ulta at lower prices, but volume so far, actually, yeah, it's pretty big. I was just messing with you, Eli. You don't have to look at the charts. It's okay. I was just playing. Yeah, Ulta, for the aggressive trader, some of these are for aggressive trader. Some of these are for aggressive. Some of these are for less aggressive people. This would be kind of a more aggressive buy on Ulta. Would be definitely catching a falling knife type of a feeling. But after earnings, looks like they missed earnings slightly. Disagree with my idea of buying Tesla for a year if entire market corrects next year. It is a gamble saying that. I said at least a year. I believe in Tesla longer term. I believe in their story. I don't hodl much. But I've had the wife's account in Tesla, solely in Tesla, so I don't have to I don't have to park my money there. But yeah, I've got her money in Tesla. So even if it's 3 to 5 years, I think Tesla will do good. I think it's at what, 200 and something, $322 right now. I think it'll be $1,000 stock. I have no doubt about that. I've got no doubt about that. If it takes a couple of years, I'm okay with that. If you have a very good rationale, for something, I think it makes sense to park some money. But I'm generally a trader by nature, and there are very, very few companies. Tesla's probably the only one at this stage of the game. Amazon will probably be a decently close second that I think has a lot more upside potential than downside potential. And that's just my personal opinion. Lilly down 1%. Eli, go ahead. Cue Eli comment that he was right and I was wrong. Question is when, like saying, let's buy BTC at 15K and hold for 10 years, and you too will be good. That's not swing trading. That's investment. Um, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. Yeah, I do think a bit of the difference, though, between Tesla and Bitcoin is that Tesla right now is not on a parabolic run. So if we were on a parabolic run, I would not be saying that. But we've had 2 years of consolidation, almost 2 years of consolidation in Tesla. Okay, year and a half. Year and a half of consolidation in Tesla. The company just went profitable. Um, the shorts are through the roof. I mean, there's just a lot of check boxes for bullish moves versus bearish moves. Is all I'm saying. Longer term, I also do like Amazon. Yes, we were talking a little bit about this yesterday, saying between Apple and Amazon, because these are kind of two of the larger moves, and now you can put Microsoft in there in terms of market cap. Well, Microsoft market cap. I mean, this thing is maintained, and we talked about this through the drop. Microsoft bounced off its 200-day moving average, bounced. I don't know what else did that. Not much else did that. Um, right there. Nice, Eli. Hope you're not driving still. Um, but yeah, Microsoft bounced off the 200 days, said thank you, and that's what happened. Their institutions went thank you, and then it just bounced off. Yesterday, they took it up again. Um, Microsoft is just apparently Microsoft can't die. That's all I got to say. Look at the weekly chart of Microsoft. It just it died in 2000, and then now it's just saying thank you. Apple is a strictly retail company. So, phones, tablets, you pretty much know what they're going to do. I don't think there's any super creative people to drive Apple forward. I'm sure there's some people in Apple that are capable of doing that, but they're probably not in the position they need to be to do that. Tim Cook is a numbers guy and a supply chain guy. They're generally not a super innovative company anymore. What have they done since Jobs passed away? Nothing. Nothing. So they're pretty much running on fumes from Jobs's work, and it looks like those fumes could potentially run out. Could potentially run out. And I'm not saying it's going to die on the vine, but maybe 233.47 could be an all-time high for Apple. Of course, we said that back in 2013 as well. We said that in 2015 as well. Saying that again in 2018 kind of sounds like a broken record. Maybe we'll have another run in Apple, but they are the world's most profitable company. There's something to say for that. From a fundamental perspective, they have most of the world's money, and that's a pretty good position to be in. So, like, if you look at their PE ratio, like if I go to FinViz right now, their PE ratio has historically been low, very low PE ratio for Apple. Right now, it's 14, which I think is lower than the S&P 500 or in line with the S&P 500. So in terms of cash, you have 13.90 per share, of which you have 4.7 billion of. So they're sitting on $66 billion in cash. I mean, they're just, they're a money printing machine. Don't get it twisted. At the same time, what's the sales driver going forward? We know Tesla is very innovative. They've got a lot. Tesla has a big roadmap. Apple's roadmap is, let's put out the Apple Pencil. That's their freaking roadmap. It's like, seriously? Come on. Do something. Yeah, Microsoft looks good fundamentally. Absolutely. Microsoft, Tesla has a big roadmap. Microsoft is just killing it. I mean, they just rake in money as well. We know about, like I said, I like Tesla longer term, very innovative company, huge markets, talking infrastructure, energy, and cars. I mean, come on. What gets bigger than that? Those are some huge economies right there. And I'm sure they'll do something else in scale. And they're getting into semi-trucks. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Once they figure out how to build the wrapper around their battery pack, which is essentially what they're doing. I mean, it's really what they're doing. Amazon, on the other hand, continues to grow. Amazon is, hasn't quite fully eaten up retail. It can make further market share, and it's making headway into other businesses as well. So they do have an impetus for potential gains as well. So I do like Amazon. I do like Apple. Microsoft looks good. But I don't. I know they're a software business, and that's highly profitable, but it's not a very sexy business. It's hard to say. So their PE is 26 compared to Microsoft's. You'll rarely hear me talk about a PE ratio. Gross margin 65% with Microsoft. That's crazy. Apple's is 38%. So cash per share 17. Wow, they actually have Microsoft has more cash than Apple does right now. Wow, by a lot. By quite a bit actually. You're eyeing biotech. What names are you looking at there, Eli? Haven't seen too many biotech names pop on top of the list here recently, but yeah, absolutely. Let's go see if there's some stuff in biotech worth looking at. Trying to see if I can find a list of biotech companies. Medical, biomed, biotech. Oh, you don't have any names right now? Okay. Well, maybe there's some work to do on that. We can find some biotech stuff. Yeah, trying to find what sector is going to lead next is always very profitable. Eli Lilly probably could be in that in that department. Let's go see if IBD says that they are. I think they're a drug maker. I don't think they're necessarily biotech. Yeah, pharmaceutical company, not necessarily a biotech. PBE. Momentum. Wow, Pfizer and Merck. Yeah, looking pretty good right there. Apparently MTUM is an ETF. Healthcare shares tripled in their ETF. Apparently in November they took off Nvidia altogether. They added healthcare stocks. UNH, United Health Group is on their list as well. So, but yeah, Merck and Pfizer actually having some maintaining very elevated levels. Look at Merck. Merck just doesn't care. And Pfizer cares a little bit, but not Merck. Merck's like, thank you. So that's pretty good. Tesla up 4% now. Just rock. I'm telling you, man, this thing just looks so good. on that bombshell, guys, I think I'm going to bounce. I think I'm going to get out of here. So we got a market so far flat. If we can maintain flatness today, I think that would be awesome. I'd be super duper happy about that. And yeah, hopefully we get some of these. What's China doing? Well, certain names are doing things. I got NTES, which has kind of been on my list for a minute. Trying to poke its head higher. So far, it looks like it poked its head back down, but I'm looking for a breakout from this level on Nettie's for a potential entry. That would actually take out the 200-day moving average. You can see it's been kind of a long downtrend. Put in a bit of a reversal pattern right there, and then it's maintaining a base. So if we can get above that, Nettie's could get off to the races. I think that could be healthy. Yeah, potentially. It just sometimes these things rocket though when they get these little formations. YY was a good example of that before it kind of cratered. But there's a good buy point right there. That's where I bought YY, and it really kind of never came back. I guess it was already above the 200-day though. But I kind of view that as a bit more important than a moving average specifically. But this had a longer downtrend too. So market doing pretty good, flat, pretty much flat here. If we're down less than like 0.15%, I'm just calling it flat. Although the Qs looks like we're down more than that. We're still about 0.4% on the Qs. The futures are going to be different than the Qs, obviously. So, but Nettie's is doing okay. We did look at a few earlier. Baba, look like it was trying to make a comeback. We'll see what happens out of that. There's a high that they've already placed out of the trend line, and they pulled back into the trend line. So that's not very good. It's another big Chinese name. Drawing blanks right now. Haven't really thought about China in a while. Why? All right, looks like Goose is selling off a little bit. Yeah, we'll see what happens as the day progresses here. Hopefully we stay pretty flat. That would be ideal for me. I mean, I'm really looking for the market not to fall apart. As long as the market doesn't fall apart and just maintains levels, I think we'll be good. I think we'll be good from here. But that, if that happens throughout the rest of the year, I'll be a happy boy. Super happy camper at this stage of the game. If we just go flat, if we never undercut this low, I'll be super happy. We can meander here, go up, go down. Doesn't matter to me. I'd prefer that we stay above this low. That means this low is never in danger. And we'll see what happens with that as we go forward. AMRN down another 2%. Airlines looks like they're taking it on the chin since oil had a good day today. Inverse relationships. It's funny stuff. I got EETF. Looks like it's up a little bit today, so that's good. Das good. So INS, our buddy INS, took it on the chin a little bit the other day. We talked about this, but some of you guys are just joining us after I talked about this. Good reversal day as well. Good inside day as well. Maybe another inside day. I think a break above that 1388 could be healthy in INS. Maybe we'll finally break that. Put that breakout right there in jeopardy of actually breaking out. I think that would be tremendous. So there is some want for INS. Lots of green throughout here, so I'm pretty happy about that. Hopefully that can get going as well if the market stays stable. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Stay safe out there. if you do want to take some positions, I would do some small entries. Yesterday was a good day. Doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet, though. Doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet by any stretch. Ideally, if we stay sideways for a couple of days, if you guys want to come back in a week or so, I don't think we get a big rush next week, unless the trade war is over. If the trade war ends, then I think the market's going to have a huge reaction, as long as the Fed doesn't raise rates as well. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Today's Friday. See you guys on Monday. Have a good day and a good weekend. Stay safe.